cartoon cartoons.
And more, you might do that thing. Fit and more,
You're watching Established Chernobyl.
Hello, my friends! I'm Kuromi, and we're taking up a new chapter. It's Pawna. Hi! So today we're going to take a look at the top 10 things that ruined Star Wars for fans. So, do you like Star Wars? Well, I certainly do. So, let's get started!
The Jedi came to this island to die. It's time for the Jedi to end.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 scenes that ruined Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars flick. I noticed that.
For this list, we'll be going over the moments from the Star Wars franchise that made fans cringe or rage quit. To be clear,
am I just gonna be good on Disney, yo?
Things that are bad in retrospect,
That's a good action,
like
though.
kissing Luke.
That seems a little bit perfect shot to my
If there's a
own.
Star Wars scene you hated that was far, far away from our list, let us know in the comments. Number 10, Lost the Will to Live. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Death is a solemn occasion, particularly when it's related to childbirth.
Oh my goodness. That's definitely ruined this.
Instead of weeping.
Went in
After her
forever.
confrontation with Anakin,
You're
Padme
gonna
is
get
left
destroyed in
heartbroken and
that.
ready to deliver her twins. However, her droid doctor informs Obi-Wan and company that while she's fine physically, she has lost the will to live. And she dies.
Medically, she's completely healthy. For reasons we can't explain, we are losing her.
She's dying.
We don't know why. She has lost the will to live.
Sure, people dying of a broken heart is medically possible, but it's hardly narratively satisfying.
No poor little
It sounds more
thing
like
is
poetic
gonna be a
license.
big old fella
As
in
it
my
is, this
own.
felt to many fans like a half-baked way
Oh,
of killing
definitely
Padme
dead.
off without having Darth Vader be directly responsible.
He's lost the will to live? What is your degree in? Poetry? You sorry bunch of hippies? For God's sakes, don't use the billions of dollars of medical equipment around us.
Number 9, Rose saves Finn. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Usually when one character saves another from certain death, everyone is on board. Not so here.
It's too late. Don't do this.
No! I won't let them win.
With the Resistance cornered and the First Order firing death beams...
Well, that
forward,
thing is
Finn
so
ready to make the
destroyed.
ultimate sacrifice to crash
I
his
can
people into the
easily
weapon
do
to
this
save the
everything
Resistance.
for all.
Except Rose decides to
Don't
crash
ever
the
leave the
weapon,
chaos in
stopping
your
him
window.
from saving everyone.
I know it's a good everyone for now.
And then she kisses him.
Yeah,
Sure,
definitely
Luke
a
ends up
Star
buying
Wars
time
flick
for
of my
everyone to
own.
escape, but Rose didn't know that would happen, or that the First Order wouldn't just shoot them after saving Finn. A kiss, after all, that feels so ill-timed. We can see why this was the last straw for some fans. Number 8, Jar Jar gives Palpatine emergency powers. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
This is a crisis. The Senate must vote the Chancellor emergency powers. He can then approve the creation of an army.
Still very improved on the Jedi now.
To propose such a
This is still
People
believable.
don't like Jar Jar, that's no secret, but while his comedic relief was understandable, if annoying, there are those who took even more issue when he affected the plot. Jar Jar is responsible for proposing that Chancellor Palpatine be given emergency powers by the Senate to draft the clone army.
Misa propose that the Senate give immediately emergency powers
to the Supreme Chancellor.
This effectively makes Jar Jar partially responsible for the rise of the Emperor and the Empire.
The Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire.
Granted, Palpatine and his flunky put the idea in his head, but it's still going
This still's
for
a little
fans
bit
to know that so much
spacey,
people
though.
about because this floppy
I
don't
can even tell
speak.
everything.
And speaking of divisive characters, number 7, Rey Skywalker. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Rey has been a lightning rod of a character since her introduction.
Still definitely
but her
a
final scene in the
Skywalker,
sequel
huh?
trilogy had fans demanding their money back. On Tatooine, Rey lays the lightsabers of Luke and Leia to rest in the sand, while igniting her own lightsaber. Then an old woman asks her name.
There's been no one for so long. Who are you? I'm Rey. Rey who?
Rey responds with her first name, and then after looking at Luke and
That's
Leia's
definitely a
ghost,
new
tells
one.
her
It's a
Rey
quick one.
Skywalker.
a character that's already so divisive,
Rey
inheriting the Skywalker
Skywalker?
legacy and name had
Well,
many fans
definitely hero,
outraged.
though.
Plus, it kind of goes against what Rey learned in the trilogy. That legacy doesn't need to define you.
Some things are stronger than blood.
Number 6, Leia flies in space. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. They fly now? They fly now.
They fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
People were about as amused with this development as that gag. After being blown out into space, Leia uses the Force to propel herself back to the ship, miraculously surviving being in vacuum. While the
Well,
Last Jedi
something
introduced
seems a
several
little
new
bit
Force abilities,
collected.
This one had a lot of fans crying foul. If only
I bet
they
that
discovered
woman who
Deku
can
was
fly
real.
anytime.
Lenky compared Leia to Mary Poppins.
Perhaps it's a witch.
Who doesn't dream?
Witches have brooms.
As much as we've all looked forward to Leia using the Force on screen, the effect was less supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and more quite
Still.
atrocious.
Atrocious.
Number 5. Somehow Palpatine returned. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
I have died before. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
The Star Wars franchise has some of the clunkiest dialogue in cinema. You can acknowledge this and still love it, but this line from The Rise of Skywalker quickly reached meme status with how terrible it is. Early in the film, Poe Dameron reports that somehow Palpatine returned.
We've decoded the
Still
intel
definitely a
from the
good
First Order
return on
spy,
that
and it
time.
confirms the worst.
Till everything's gone.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
This is then followed by half-hearted speculations on how this is possible. Granted, not everyone needs a thorough explanation of this resurrection, but some fans would have preferred something more substantial than somehow. By keeping it so vague, there's no guarantee that Palpatine's death at the film's end is going to be permanent either. Somehow he returned again. You don't say. Number 4, Han's name, Solo, a Star Wars story.
This is where to sign up to be a pilot, right?
If you apply for the Imperial Navy, but most recruits go into
This
the
is
infantry.
still exactly
probably
that
took
Han
one look at Han
Solo's
Solo's
gotta
last
be
name and
hard
thought,
time.
that's a weird space name.
I
and
definitely
moved
know
on
about
because
Star
most
Wars.
Star Wars names
Didn't
are
you,
like that.
huh?
Han Solo. I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon. Chewie here tells me you're looking for passage to the Alderaan system. Yes, indeed.
In a reveal no one asked for, Solo, a Star Wars story, showed us that Han didn't always have the moniker. Instead, when signing up to become an Imperial pilot, Han is given the name by the recruiter due to his claim to not have a last name, or people to which he belongs.
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
Many fans feel as though this takes a perfectly innocuous aspect of an iconic character and makes it retroactively worse. It'd be like if a Skywalker ancestor literally walked in the sky.
Man.
That wasn't a suggestion.
This
Disney
is still suggesting coming our way.
Number 3, Sand. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. When it comes to awkward Star Wars dialogue, it doesn't get much more infamous than this speech by Anakin Skywalker. While romancing Padme on Naboo, Anakin abruptly comments on his hatred of sand when Padme brings up the beach.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
And while his assessment of sand isn't wrong, many are still incredulous that it ended up in the final cut of the film. Like, if you'd ask someone before the prequels whether Darth Vader has strong feelings about sand, they'd have looked at you like everyone looks at Jar Jar when he says anything. How rude! The memes practically create themselves. It's so good.
How rude!
This is still...
Number 2. Luke throws his lightsaber away. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Luke has thrown away his lightsaber before, when the Emperor told him to kill Vader. So it's not the act itself that fans have a problem with.
I'll never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Seeing Rey hand Luke his old lightsaber at the end of The Force Awakens felt like a big moment. Then The Last Jedi picks up and he
Let's
just
definitely
tosses
do
it
that.
over his shoulder. It feels like tonal whiplash.
I
for many
bet you
viewers.
can play this
Luke
a
seems
long
to value
time.
Jedi texts that get destroyed later in the film more than the lightsaber he and his father used.
The sacred Jedi texts. Oh, read them, have you?
The image of Luke tossing the lightsaber away is a go-to example for the hashtag #NotMyLukeSkywalker crowd, who feel that the action, like many Luke takes during the film, is not in keeping with his character. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions. No medal for Chewbacca, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. It's always seemed kind of specious that he didn't get one. Jabba cameo, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. This scene should have stayed on the cutting room floor.
You think I had a choice? But I got a nice, easy charter now. I'll pay you back, plus a little extra. I just need a little more time.
Phasma's death, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. How do you waste Gwendolyn Christie this much?
You're always scum. Rebel scum.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and
Ooh,
ring the bell to
still
get
got a
notified about our
dishonorable
latest
than
videos.
that.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. No! Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Darth Vader is one of cinema's most iconic villains. Revenge of the Sith sees the rise or descent of Anakin Skywalker into the identity. After being heavily burned, the modified Vader is awoken in a chilling scene reminiscent of Frankenstein.
That's
How does
definitely
this scene
chilling out,
conclude when
huh?
he's told he killed his wife in his rage?
Still
By
got Darth Vader
yelling,
than then.
"No!" In a way many fans found goofy, undercutting the tension of the scene. The exclamation has become a meme, synonymous with over-the-top angst. The line was even added into a special edition of Return of the Jedi, further souring it for fans. Ironically, the best way to describe fans' reaction to the scene is with the scene itself.
Do you agree with our...
Ooh, so that's it. See you tomorrow.
Bye guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.